Hello, and thanks again for joining me for yet another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing and discussing the fantastic film from 1985 called Re-animator. So, Re-animator. Well, Herbert West, played by Jeffrey Combs, is a brilliant medical student who has perfected a green glowing serum for regenerating life into dead things, or even parts of dead things. But a corrupt superior, Dr. Carl Hill, played by David Gale, assumes control of West's experiments and winds up, by ghastly necessity, using the stuff on his own severed head and body. West and his in-over-his-head co-worker, Dan Kane, played by Bruce Abbott, struggle to control the now out-of-control effects of the serum, but the bone saws and zombies complicate their plans. So, Re-animator is based on the H.P. Lovecraft story known as Herbest West Re-animator, and it's certainly Lovecraft's, or one of Lovecraft's, most well-known and probably most aptly realized adaptations, I would say. Although a number of Lovecraft's films have been adapted over the years, many have left a lot to be desired, and I feel like Re-animator is one of the films that has realized Lovecraft's full potential. Perhaps even if it wasn't an entirely accurate adaptation, it still had enough Lovecraftian kind of elements to it while taking a new creative element, which really manifested a fantastic end product. And in addition to just being a great adaptation overall, I also think that Re-animator is probably one of the most well-known and most successful horror comedies that came out of the 80s. If you ask any horror fan what their favorite horror comedy is from the 80s, more likely than not, you're going to hear Re-animator mentioned in that list a number of times. And this is because it really has so much going for it. It has wonderful, authentic effects, which are just completely outlandish and outrageous. It has a really nice storyline, which mixes in elements, Lovecraftian elements, along with sort of a modern-day twist. And most importantly, of course, you have a film that manages to be consistent in terms of being entertaining throughout essentially the entire running time. There are times in Re-animator, transitional scenes that leave a little bit to be desired, but then you are greatly rewarded by being exposed to really fantastic scenes in the middle and especially toward the end. Re-animator has an ending in a latter fourth, probably, that is inexplicably great. So near the ending, you've got this great build-up, you've got this relationship between the Doctor and Megan, who is the daughter of the Dean. You've got her being kidnapped by the Doctor, who you find out is obsessed with her, but who also now is a decapitated zombie. And so you have this scene near the end, which I don't want to give away because it's infamous, but you may not have heard about it, involving a sex act being performed by a decapitated head. You can let your imagination imagine what's going on there. But it's completely outlandish, and then at the very end you've got, in this lab, all of these zombies coming together, decapitated zombies, naked zombies running around, running into things, tearing people apart. You've got corpses which are being injected fully with, over-injected with serum, which then creates these kind of weird mutations. So you've got people whose bodies are like exploding or cracking in half or something like this, and then you've got parts of the body which are being reanimated. So you have hearts, and you have innards, and you have uh, large and small intestines which are coming out as bodily animations or reanimations and grabbing people and killing them. And so all of this insane stuff is happening, and you, at least if you are a fan of 80s horror, you just become placed in a state of complete bliss, an 80s horror bliss, and you really cannot get enough of it. So, if you couldn't tell, I highly recommend this film. If you are a fan of 80s horror, you probably have already seen it, but if you're not, or if you're on the if you're on the edge about watching this film, definitely just go on and just do it already, because you will not be disappointed, I promise you. So definitely check it out. I would say that on my Scar scale rating, I would give this film 4.5 out of 5 scars, and once again, that comes with a very high recommendation. So if you watch it, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.